What up, Raffleators? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to give you 10 things to love about Guyana. Now, I lived abroad for almost 2 decades, mostly in North America and then eventually in Asia and back in Canada. So, I didn't always love Guyana. I always had a sense of dread, a sense of anxiety. I actually would have a small panic attack every time I thought about coming back, returning to Guyana. And then one day I just decided to face my fears, to pluck up the courage and do the thing I feared most and return to Guyana. I came back to teach at the University of Guyana and then eventually stayed on beyond teaching at the university. So here I am, almost 6 years back in Guyana, and I want to give you a story that is almost 6 years in the making of how I came to love Guyana. So these are 10 things to love about Guyana, and I hope at the end of this you will discover things to love about Guyana too. So stay tuned.
Oh, this is my day. I'm ready to take it on, come what may.
So if you're new to this channel, welcome to Raffle Nation. The subscribers of this channel are called Raffleitos, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please click the subscribe button below. And remember, you can follow me on other social media platforms. My handles are in the description section, the about section of this page. Now let me give you the 10 things to love about Guyana, and see if you can guess what number 10 is. It is the most important reason. In the comments below, tell me what you think it will be. But let's start with number 1, and in no particular order, right? Number 1 is weather and climate. Guyana is a tropical country. We are located at the equator, right? Georgetown is about 6 degrees north of the equator, and our temperature and our climate is consistent year-round. We get sun all year. We get rain, a rainy season about 2 to 4 times a year, and it is reliable. It's like clockwork. And in years when we don't get a reliable weather cycle, it's usually delayed by a month or two, but you can prepare for it. So one of the things I love about Guyana is that it is sunny. It's bright and sunny all year. It's consistent. It's reliable, and that means I can use things like solar power, so I can live off grid, which I do right now, and I can cut out all of my utility bills. I can collect rainwater, and I can live off the land. It's the number one thing to love about Guyana. None of that seasonal active disorder, that sad that you get when winter rolls around in North America, when everybody starts to get depressed when the leaves start falling off the trees. None of that happens here. We're at the equator. We get summer all year, right? So that's the number one thing to love about Guyana. Number 2, solar power is available free of charge all years. Like I mentioned, I live off the grid. I have solar panels on my roof. I collect power every day, store it in the battery, and I use the power every day, all night. So I have a very, very clean footprint. I have a zero carbon footprint. Well, not zero, but almost zero carbon footprint, because my electricity comes from the sun, and I am planning to increase my my power output, just by putting more panels up and building more storage in, because it's just exciting to know that you can wake up every morning and look forward to the sun shining, because that sun is bringing you free electricity. It's one of the most exciting feelings I've had since returning to Guyana, and in fact, since living in a house, in the world, because it's like knowing that you're getting paid, you're getting something free, you're getting something for nothing every day without fail. And so every morning when I open my eyes, I'm excited, because I know this is another day when I get free electricity. So that's number 2, free solar power. Number 3, fresh fruits and vegetables. So because we're living in a tropical climate, there is fresh fruit and vegetable available all year round. And in fact, even in my backyard, I can go down and I'll show you now that it's like a forest back there. I can get fruits, I can get vegetables. I plant, trees and I can reap. So if you live in the tropics, one of the advantages you have is that you don't have to import these fruits and vegetables when winter rolls around and things don't grow in your country, right? We live in a tropical country. Of course, some fruits are in season, but those fruits that are in season when others are out of season come back in season when others come into season. So there's always fresh fruits and vegetables year round. And I'm going to do a video on how I eat and how I eat healthy and how I eat clean in Guyana. It's an entirely different experience when you start to eat clean and when you live clean. And I'm going to give you a video on how I do that in Guyana, because being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle is a lot easier when you live in the tropics. This is very, very sour fruit. It grows all the way up the tree. And it's very sour. Right, very, very tart. That's a mango tree. And this one's avocado. I actually planted this one about a year ago. And I understand it takes about 3 or 4 years before it starts to bear fruit. And this is the tropical forest in the backyard. Number 4. We have a healthy, stress-free, laid-back lifestyle. So Guyana is a country in the tropics. We don't take things too seriously, right? We have a saying in Guyana, no big thing. Everything is no big thing, right? So we really don't stress on the small stuff. This is a country that is really laid back. It's healthy, it's stress-free, and we don't stress. You notice that I don't really talk a lot about politics because I know eventually things are going to work out. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of politicking, a lot of political gamesmanship, but I know in the end Guyanese will do the right thing, so I don't have to get worked up about it, because we understand things will work out in the end, right? Number 5 is that the cost of living is low compared to other places in the world, right? So if you live in North America or you live in Europe, you're accustomed to very, very high cost of living. But I'll show you some of the prices that I purchase items at in the local markets and local supermarkets and markets. Last week I bought a whole snapper. In fact, last month, the month of August, I bought a whole snapper for about $7. This was huge. And I had about 5 meals. I ate it for an entire week. So I don't know if you can do this in North America. I remember going to Flushing Meadow, to the Korean grocery and buying fresh fish. But even then, I think the kind of prices was more like double what you would pay for fresh fish and fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. You can get coconuts. You can walk down the streets and get coconuts, fresh coconut water, for about 75 cents or $1 in Guyana. I don't think you can do that. There are very few places in the world you can do that. So you can eat healthy. The prices are low. The cost of living is very low compared to other places in the world. Number 6. Number 6 is people are friendly, right? So this is an English-speaking country. You will find now that there are people here from several non-English speaking countries: Cubans, Brazilians, Venezuelans, Americans. Everybody is now coming to Guyana, and people are friendly, right? The children will pass you on the street and say hello. They will say good afternoon, good morning. I mean, when I first came back to Guyana, that was shocking to me, right? Because I'm so accustomed to just keeping your vision straight ahead, not looking anybody in the eye, because you don't want to offend anybody in North America. When you come back to Guyana, people are friendly, people will say hello. People will greet you in the streets, and expect that. It's one of the things to love about Guyana. Number 7, water. Guyana, the word Guyana means land of many waters. So Guyana has an abundant supply of fresh water. We have 3 rivers, and these are not tiny rivers like the ones you find in Europe and North America. These are massive rivers, huge rivers, a mile wide, right? In some cases, some points longer than a mile wide. And that is one of the reasons why we're called the land of many waters. We have groundwater, we have spring water, we have fresh water in abundance, and we get rainwater. In fact, I collect rainwater and I use rainwater exclusively for my household cooking and cleaning and washing and so on. So it's one of the things that we're not anxious about. I don't have any anxiety about getting water because we are the land of many waters. Number 8. We are a rainforest country. So Guyana is a rainforest country. 90% of the country is covered by grasslands and forests, right? Just dense jungle, rainforest. So we're proud to be one of the countries that supplies oxygen. We are the lungs of the world. We're part of the Amazon rainforest system. And so this is one of the things to love and to be proud about Guyana. It is that Guyana is still almost pristine. If you look at a map of Guyana, most of what you can see is completely bare, vacant land, unoccupied. Nobody lives there, right? Just animals, right? So Guyana's rainforest is the draw for ecotourism. It's one of our growth industries, one of the largest ecotourism potential in the Caribbean and in the world, in fact, if I would say so. We're competing only with Malaysia and perhaps Thailand in terms of ecotourism, and perhaps Africa. But we have jungle, right? We have South American rainforest in the Amazon, and it's something to be proud of. Number 9. You can play outdoor sports in Guyana all year. So I play golf and tennis, but you can play soccer and you can play cricket. You can play anything that requires you to be outdoors all year round. It will rain, you will get a thunderstorm from time to time, and you will stop playing, and eventually the sun will come back out. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it will clear up and you can continue to play. So this is like the mecca for people who want to live an outdoor lifestyle and who want to have that tropical, actually living at the equator experience, where any day you decide to go out and play, you can play. You will always be able to play your outdoor sports. And number 10. See if you can guess what number 10 is. Number 10 is we are the fastest growing country in the Caribbean, possibly in the world right now because of the oil and gas industry. So Exxon made its first discovery of oil in 2015, and since then they have made 12 discoveries. They're about 13 discoveries, and there are 8 oil companies, 8 groups of oil companies, representing about a dozen countries or half a dozen countries that are exploring for oil off the shore, off the coast of Guyana. And now they're about to announce a new discovery, a new well. Now we have 6 billion barrel equivalents of oil reserves, and it seems as if every week there are new oil finds, new discoveries. So this is going to make Guyana one of the richest countries in the world per capita because oil, right? Oil. So oil and gas will cause the value of the Guyana dollar to double. In fact, the value of the Guyana dollar to appreciate over the next year. It will cause the GDP to double and perhaps triple over the next few years. And this is why Guyana is the fastest growing country in the world, right? Because the value of the oil and gas reserves is 10 times the GDP of the country, right? So even if we only get 50% of the oil reserves, we can become the richest country in the world per capita. Now let me give you a bonus. The bonus is food. You know, Guyana has some of the best cuisine in the world because we are drawing our population from 5 different ethnicities and regions of the world. Our local cuisine is a melting pot, a mix of several different cuisines, from Native American, Amerindian cuisine to African to Indian cuisine. So we know about curries and spices, and European cuisine. You know, we have Dutch and French and British heritage because of our colonial history. And so you will find rich and spicy cuisine in Guyana. And that is the 11th and reason to be proud of, to love Guyana. Now, these are my reasons. What are your reasons? What are some of your reasons? Perhaps you're a Guyanese who've been living abroad for many, many years and you've forgotten all of the reasons why you love Guyana. In the comments below, tell me what you think are some of the other reasons that I might have missed. Reasons to be proud of Guyana, things to love about Guyana. And remember, you can support this channel on PayPal and Patreon. You can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter, because when I'm not out here posting videos, I'm on other social media platforms sharing aspects of my life in Guyana. And remember, you can share this video with friends and family around the world. Let them know what's happening in Guyana. Later!